Hello crafters, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have several card ideas to share featuring creative backgrounds using small dies. There are many background dies out there on the market, and while they are fantastic, most of the time they can only be used for the backgrounds. I personally love to make my own backgrounds, so today I have several card ideas featuring repeat die cutting technique to create unique backgrounds for cards. There's going to be a lot of die cutting in this video, so pull your die cutting machine out and let's start die cutting. My first card for today features Spellbinders July 2019 Small Die of the Month. It's the most adorable set with a cat and a dog. There are dies included to make the body of the animal and the head of the animal with all the little additional bits like a collar and the dog bowl and even some grass if you wanted to make a scene. I'm a cat person. I have 2 black cats living with us, so I wanted to create a card with a bunch of adorable cat faces. For this, I die cut the cats' heads from black and white cardstock, and here you can see me arranging those and adhering those to a background. This is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and it's using the FSJ Cool Pool cardstock. I did leave the center blank, as this is where I'll be adding a sentiment panel, so there's no need to add additional die cuts there, as they will be covered in the end. I always struggle with coloring critters. A lot of people color their pets, paper pets, to look like their real pets. My pets are black, and therefore there's not much coloring or color variation to be done, so I'm never really good at coloring these critters. I did, however, wanted to make my cats a little bit different, so I decided I would use the other die cut bits, like the die cuts that are meant to be used for the other parts of the body, to color these critters' faces, so to speak. And I've added some pink and some white spots around their eyes here and there, just to make them a little bit more different from the rest. I also die cut some collars for my kitties, and you'll see me add tags to those in just a minute. To create a sentiment for this card, I used one of the Spellbinders Club add-on dies, So Many Sentiments die set. It is meant to coordinate with the Spellbinders truck die, but it also can be used on its own. Here I die cut You're Great. I cut it 3 times in a small panel. This is cut to 2.5 by 3 1/4 inches, and I'm stamping Love You Forever in black ink twice in between the die cuts to add additional sentiment to this card. I'm also using foam adhesive to adhere this to a pink cardstock panel, a light pink. I want to have some solid color underneath this piece, and pink seems to go well with the other colors that I've picked for this card. This pink cardstock is bubblegum from Fun Stamper's Journey. I decided to use Pretty Pink Posh jewels for the little tags on the collars, and these worked really great for that. Next, I wanted to add some whiskers to my kitties, and so I decided I would cut some paper into really thin strips to use as whiskers. I had some leftover black cardstock, and using my tonic trimmer, I just cut it into small, very skinny strips to be used as whiskers. I love this trimmer. It's reliable, and it always allows me to cut paper even to the skinniest strips like I'm showing here. Next, using scissors, I've cut the long pieces into smaller pieces and adhered those as whiskers to my card. I think that tied the whole thing together and really added some character to this project. I made some whiskers longer, some shorter, and some even went outside the card edge. Off camera, I also coated their eyes and noses with glossy accents for some dimensional details. So here I used a small cat face die to cover the entire front of my A2 card. It was easy to do, and what's cool about that is that I can use this die in many other ways for my cards. In fact, here are some other card ideas I made previously using this die. Next, I have a card featuring the same technique, but using a different die. This is the Spellbinders Large Die of the Month for July 2019, and it's actually an adorable 3D bike die. The bike also collapses and fits inside an envelope for easy mailing. I do have another video with the bike coming soon, but today I wanted to show you how you can look at your die cuts in a different way and use them in a different way on your cards. Here I have a wheel die cut, and while it does look like a wheel, of course, when layered, it can also make a fabulous background. Here I've die cut a bunch of wheels from Cool Pool and bubblegum cardstock from Spellbinders Journey, and I'm just layering my wheels to create a cool and unique looking background for this card. To adhere these in place, I used a Journey Craft glue. This is my new favorite glue to use. It's nice and thick, and the applicator comes to a nice fine point when I need to adhere little details to my card. I'm adhering these wheels in the center only. I don't want to spend too much time adding all of that extra glue. Adding a dot in the center is more than enough to hold those in place. As I'm finishing up this background, it no longer looks like I used a wheel die cut. It's a little different and very fresh, I think. I personally love this background. Do let me know in the comments below if you like it as well, or which background from today's video is your favorite. To make a sentiment panel, I used a Fun Times die cut. It's done in that same style as the one used for my cat card, but actually comes from the bicycle die set from Spellbinders, from the same one where I used the wheel from, and it also coordinates with the truck die from last year, if you have it. So I die cut it 3 times. I stamped Enjoy the Moment in black ink. This stamp comes from a sentiment stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. I don't remember which one right now, but I will have it listed along with all the other supplies that I'm using today in the video description below. To dress up this card, I die cut a bunch of flowers and some branches. These are also included with the bike die, and I use the same colors of cardstock plus pineapple smoothie cardstock for the yellow flowers. In case you're curious, here are a few other cards I made with this Spellbinders die, the large die of the month for July 2019. I just love that bike die cut, and I think it works great not just for cards, but also for table decor or shelf decor, and it could also hold a little candy or something like that. My last card for today uses the same principle, using small dies to make a background. This time I used a layering flower die to create a fun die cut background for my card. Here I started by making a sentiment panel. Once again, I used that So Many Sentiments add-on die set and die cut Get Well from Spellbinders Journey Sweet Berry cardstock. Gotta tell you, I love this die cut sentiment look. It's very clean and modern looking in my eyes. And it looks especially great when cut from colored cardstock. I also white heat embossed You're in My Heart sentiment, again using stamps from Simon Says Stamp. The sentiment panel was foam mounted onto the background, and I have it centered on the panel. I've also already die cut and assembled a bunch of flowers using one of the Spellbinders past Small Die of the Month die sets. This is Colorful Blooms set. It was the Small Die of the Month for April 2019, and this die is actually still available even for non-club members. If you'd like to get it, I have a link to this set below. I loved working with these flowers. You have several flower options, and of course you have suggestions as to how to put these together, how to layer them. But you can break the rules and layer them differently if you want. Some of my flowers were not layered as recommended, and they still turned out great. This set also has a flower bud, a layering one actually, and also some beautiful leaves and branches to complete your floral clusters. It's a beautiful set if you ask me, and it's very inexpensive as well, just like the rest of the Spellbinders Club dies. The Small Die of the Month subscription is just $12.50, and that includes US shipping. A Large Die of the Month is just $25, and shipping is also included. And if you want to get both, you can join the Die Heart Club. I just love the name of that club. And that one is $30 including shipping, so you're saving even more. And it pays to be in both clubs, as the dies will coordinate. Not always, but they will often coordinate. Like this month, for example, the Small Die of the Month with the cats and dogs and the Large Die of the Month with the bike, they coordinate as you can put the critters in the basket of your bike. So it's a great value club to join. It's also a great one to gift to a crafty friend. And what's even better, There's always a ton of inspiration from Spellbinders and their guest designers sharing some really gorgeous card ideas with these kits. Having adhered all of the flowers, I used my Fun Stampers Journey scissors. I love these. I use them all the time for cutting some larger elements and also for cutting my foil. They cut like butter. Here's a look at all of the finished cards I have for you today. I also made one more with that flower die set. I just used some other colors. So all of these feature card backgrounds created with small dies. I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll give it a try. If you do, share and tag me. I love seeing what you guys are making. If you're new here, do subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified about every new upload. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.